Hey everybody, today is Thursday, May 21st. It's my first day back out in the field in a week now. Got rain last Thursday, and oh shoot, boy, I don't know, I think we got around an inch that day, but then it started raining Sunday morning and didn't let up until Tuesday morning. We got just under 4 inches altogether out of all of it. But fortunately, this field here, kind of high ground, well drained, seems to be working good. It's not sticking to the packer, or it's breaking up nice. I don't think I'd want it to be any wetter, but it seems to be going good, so I'm hitting it. I'm gonna get this field worked up and then this afternoon plant it. There's a slight chance of rain tomorrow afternoon, so just gonna work up what I think I can get planted and let the rest dry some more. Share with you my fun for the day. I tried scratched a little dirt at home. The overall, I know that field's gonna have some wet spots, so I just wanted to see if the drier stuff was dry before I drove all the way to this field. Seemed to be working up good. Then the guy from the place that does my spraying was swinging by to check field conditions, hoping they could get out. So I drove down, I saw him go by, so I drove down to the field he was checking to look at it. And good news is they're going to get started on spraying corn. I think they're going to be fine. If I can disc, they ought to be able to stay on top. But I parked along the edge of the road. I didn't want to pull into the field and either mush corn or cut things up if it was a little wet down there. So not a main road, but still a fairly busy road, but it didn't seem to be too busy at that particular time in the morning. So I kind of pull off the shoulder the best I can, just leave the flasher lights on, run out, talk to him real quick, look at stuff, come back. I think only 1 or 2 cars went by the whole time, so it wasn't bad. Climb up, grab the handle, and it just goes down and nothing happens. And I'll be dipped. But something internal broke on the latch. And so here's my tractor sitting in the road blocking a lane, and I can't get in the cab. It's running, it's in park, so it can't even, you know, tow it somewhere to get it out of the way or something. But so, fortunately I had pry bar and a screwdriver in the toolbox, little jimmy in on one of the windows up here, and I was able to get the latch undone and swing it open, reach through and push the catch there, the pawl for the latch back, and pop the door open. So I didn't have to smash any windows out. Glad I had that stuff in the toolbox, although the spray guy stuck around when he saw I was having trouble and could have run up to the farm and grabbed a couple more tools if we needed to get it in, but get in here. Crumbling up nice. I've changed the way I work this field. I used to run it north and south. Now I'm going east and west. So I got a little bit of unevenness to work out of it over the next couple of years. It's going into soybeans, but it just kind of works better. I got the road along that side. Gives me more places to pull in with equipment. And being a side road, not competing with traffic like I am with the state highway or state road that's out there that has lots of traffic that zips right along. Kind of tough to turn in and out up there, because people don't, of course, you know, all they see is something to get around. They don't see the fact that this tractor could smush them in a heartbeat. on the disc wing. It's just a little soft. It squats when it's up, but once it's down on the ground, it's round again. It's the weight's off from it. So I'm not gonna drive all the way back up just for that. I ain't got a whole lot left. That one's had a slow leak, so I keep an eye on it. And apparently not a good enough eye on it. Been nice to maybe give us another day. I don't know. It's breaking up nice. I'm pretty impressed for as much rain as we got. But like I say, this field here just, well, there's a sand and gravel pit back there in the woods. It's not mine, but kind of gives you an idea what kind of soil's here. It's sand under the topsoil, so it drinks her up good, but still enough clay in it when it does get dried out. It doesn't crack, but it gets pretty solid when it gets dried out. I don't know, it's a pretty good mix. Like I say, because it can accept the water, but it's got enough other stuff going on there to kind of hold some. This field does pretty good. There's no tile on it. For the way it drains, I don't see where it'd be worth the money to put any in it. I mean, like I say, 4 inches ending just 24 hours ago, I'm sorry, 48 hours ago, and there's not a puddle in sight. I'm kicking up dust on a couple of the hilltops. Now let's get you some exterior shots. did work up nice. Just gotta take the transport locks out and go plant some beans. $155's been running good. This dusty streak is where I had a valve cover that needed to tighten down a little bit that first day of running. Got a little oil on the side. Other than that, doing good. Beans. I've got an old-timey monitor around here. Ain't super precise, but it gives me an idea of what I'm putting down so I can tweak the rate. I've had beans with anywhere from down around 2,100 seeds per pound all the way up to these stuff. These that are in here now are almost 3,300 seeds per pound. Probably gonna have to, it looks like, speed up the left side. I'm waiting. I had just a little bit of the last variety left in there when I filled up, so I'm kind of giving a moment to work some of that through before I make an adjustment. But the right side's looking like it might be a skosh high, and the left side a skosh low. It's actually a 6-row monitor. There's only 4 sensors on the drill, so I just 5 and 6 don't do anything. I cut the wire going to the alarm because they will squawk all the time because it's sensing 2 rows ain't dropping seeds, or it ain't sensing seeds from those 2. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be safe bumping the left up. I didn't want to listen to that all day. Some of you probably heard a drill is basically a control spill. Nowhere near as precise as a planter, but I like narrow rows for my beans. I'm planting 7.5. I know a lot of guys have gone to 30s, some are 20s and 15s. And in some areas it works better for some guys. My sandier soil, that I can withstand a higher population. I want to get a good canopy to help control weeds. I don't like just throwing chemicals at a field over and over again. So I'm planting, well, I'm shooting for close to 200,000. Usually seems like I end up about 180. But I don't think hardly anybody's planting that high anymore, but it sure seems to work for my ground. If you get a dry year, beans, large population will still make some pods and get you more yield. In a good year, they'll get taller and still yield for you, but if you got a low population on a dry year on this ground, it just, you got these short little beans, you end up clipping half of them onto the ground because they're right at the cutter bar, and just a pain in the butt. I figured for the money I save, I mean, for years now I've been getting away with 1 pass for my weed control as far as spraying. I think a lot of that just comes from getting a good canopy quick. Disease ain't a real strong pressure for beans on my ground just because it's so well drained and you don't get the molds and stuff. I won't say I never get them, but it's not very often it happens. If I had better ground, I would plant a lower population. Beans seem to be backwards from corn. The worse your ground is, the more seeds you need to put down for beans, and with corn, the worse your ground is, the fewer seeds you need to put down. That's kitty corner back here, right through that opening. It just fit through it without folding up, but I'm thinking may have to fold this up just to get into there. I'm trying to remember what I've done in the past. Find out in a moment. Get a little more headland planted here, and then I'm going to go back there and plant that. Showing me that I'm a little low on that side and a little high on this side. I guess I just need to stop when I turn around and adjust the rates just a little bit. I should have enough seed on here with the smallest seed size to get the whole field planted. Should be close. Doesn't adjust for speed. It's an old one, so I've just figured out how many seeds need to drop at 5 miles an hour, or once I got my rate where I wanted it. You can go out and dig up seeds and count how many seeds per foot, and then take that number and figure out how many seeds per acre you're putting down, and then correlate it with that. But I have to be driving the right speed. If I speed up, it's going to drop more speed or seeds, and all this knows is it counts for a certain amount of time, and then it figures out, or it tells you how many seeds it counted in that many seconds. I think it's 10. But yeah, that right side's high, 386. If you put it on hold, it just counts and counts and counts. this tractor, the 2155. I was planting beans with it a few years back. I get to the field, and just like earlier, I got out to take out the transport locks and come back around. I'd close the door because I had the air conditioning going, keep it nice and cool in here. And the latch had broke, would not work. And not only that, I was about a mile from home and my phone was sitting right there. So it was enjoying the radio and the air conditioning, having a good old time. I couldn't call for help. I finally had been doing it on another cab at about the same time, so it worked out good. I'd been removing glass from an old cab by actually doing it the right way, pulling the rubber out and, you know, popping it out of there. Had a flat-bladed screwdriver in the toolbox, so I worked my way around there, took the dipstick out of the engine and dripped some oil onto the screwdriver to help lubricate it, and work the window out, this one down here, until I could get it out. Reach up in and push the catch back and open the door, and then put the glass back in, and was able to go back to planting until I could get a new replacement latch, which I did through AgCo. This field's too short to tell stories in. Yeah, so it's not like I could call someone for help to give me a ride up to get tools. That's why it's always good to have tools in your tractor. This is that backfield I was mentioning earlier. That's about 10 acres. There's about almost 60 acres of woods there that came with the property, and we sold that off not too long, or a few years after we'd bought it, to a local excavator, and he put a sand pit down in there, and he's since retired and sold it again, and someone has since bought it for hunting land. That seems to be, hunting land seems to be the most valuable land in Michigan these days, at least rural Michigan. Only, a little over an hour drive from Detroit, and probably you can be to Chicago in less than 4, probably closer to 3, depends on who's driving. So that makes us kind of attractive to people who live in a big town and think our land values are cheap compared to what they pay. This time I got smart and set it down. Makes me think of another story. The spray guy was telling me this morning they got a customer, 50 acres and 17 fields. Like, that's yeah, the average basically 3 acres a field. Getting in and out of that stuff with I mean, they're using big modern sprayers, you know, 90-foot booms, 120-foot booms. I think they spend more time probably getting in and folding and unfolding than they probably do spraying.